Oh my god, Star Ocean 5, what happened to you? Why, oh why did you have to turn out like this? So rushed, not enough development time, not a big enough budget. Why, oh why do you just feel half-assed? The Star Ocean franchise didn't deserve this entry. Guys, I'm going to do something I haven't done with the very few and far between reviews I've done for this channel, and that's give you my rating of the game before I even dive into this. My ranking for this game has got to be Star Ocean 5 or Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is a D rank game and is not worth the full price tag of $60. You can rent this game, borrow it from a friend, and in a week you'll have the main story finished. And the main story is about 20 hours or so. I beat it in less than 20 hours, maybe 18 or 19 hours. Now, I know some of you that have played this or played it a little bit are probably saying that, oh, I rushed through the main story. I didn't. I actually took the time to do some side quests, but I only did the side quests that actually got new attack skills for my party members. But I did do some side quests at my own leisure. I don't know what happened or why this game turned out the way it did. I don't think anybody was hounding Square Enix for a new Star Ocean game. I could have taken this exact same game with the story, the characters, and the battle system had it been in development more. As it stands, Star Ocean 5 is again a half-assed game with a story that just doesn't seem fleshed out. There are way better RPGs out there than this. Hell, God Eater Resurrection is a remake of the PSP title and has more story sequences and at a much cheaper price tag of $20. And it feels like more of a complete game. I just don't get it. I mean, what happened at Square Enix? Was there some type of stockholders meeting, some meeting with the board of directors? I mean, were they talking stuff about upcoming RPGs and they kept saying, oh, Final Fantasy 15 is coming out soon. Kingdom Hearts 3 should be out in about 5 years. We got that Final Fantasy 7 remake announced. Final Fantasy 14 is still going strong online. Were they tired of that? Did they want to hear about another RPG project or something? Why was this game what feels like it was in development for less than a year? It was announced in 2015 and it came out the following year, a Star Ocean game? Come on now. Something's wrong there. Or, I don't know, did they just hire a bunch of new college graduates or interns and had them make a new Star Ocean game? And just had them reuse some assets from the previous games thinking no one would even care or notice? Well, that's not good because I noticed. Okay? There's just no reason for this game to be the way that it is. And it's even worse for people who have played the other Star Ocean games because you can see exactly what assets from Star Ocean 3 and 4 that they took and put in this game, from the main character's movements and attacks to the soundtrack. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, now, I get that attack skills are different because, other series do this. I've seen Demon Fang as a beginning attack in almost every Tales of game. And of course, we know Final Fantasy does it. But with those games, it feels like they're paying homage to their past entries. But this game, it doesn't earn it. It just feels like they need to slap some stuff together, use some assets from the other games, and just say, oh, here's a new game. Like, it's been 8 years since the last Star Ocean game. Nobody's really gonna notice. And what's sad is that I've seen reviews, like professional reviewers, and they don't even mention any of this. That's because they probably didn't play the past entries. Let's move on to the actual review of this game, shall we? The story tells the tale of a appropriately aged main character, Findle, whose village starts out being attacked by a group of bad individuals. Okay, Protag's hometown is attacked. Alright. Afterward, he and his childhood friend Miki set out to pretty much stop the war going on between two nations. That's another cliche. They then stumble upon an out-of-world spaceship that houses a mysterious young girl with mysterious powers. And of course, bad people want to kidnap this mysterious young girl with mysterious powers, so the protagonist and love interest, childhood friend, wants to protect this girl. And before you know, they're joined by a whole bunch of other people who all start to be important to the plot eventually, and before you know it, they're all fighting to save the universe. Okay, pretty standard stuff, I gotta say. Okay, even with the subpar plot, the story could have been good. It could have been fun, it could have been entertaining, but what it is bland, boring, and you're just not invested enough to even care. Why? Because the way the story is presented, everything unfolds seamlessly. You might think that sounds awesome, but no, it's not. It's fucking outright terrible and lazy. During cutscenes, you just stand there while the other characters talks, and sometimes you don't even know who's talking. And this might just be me, but the subtitles even looked half-assed in this game. You end up not caring about what's going on. It's sad is that actual cutscenes are few and far between. Hell, you would think at the beginning of the game they would blow you away, throwing a lot of cutscenes, throwing a lot of story stuff, a lot of movement, characters being emotional, opening up the world, presenting you the lure of the world. But no, fuck that. They just throw you right in with no warning, and you're just supposed to instantly care about everything that's going on. This style of storytelling was okay back in the day because of the limited hardware and you had no choice for the most part. But this just feels like a cop-out because of the limited budget and the limited development time. You don't even get a worthwhile cutscene until the middle of the game when you're on the Charles D. Gold, the spaceship, the main spaceship in this game. Charles D. Gold, that sounds like something out of One Piece. Anyway, and Kenny, one of your main party members, is commanding what sounds like to be an awesome space battle. So what you should be seeing on screen is ships flying around in space, dodging lasers and missiles, explosions happening, and seeing the ship take damage. Instead, you just have all the crew relaying this information. And it's especially a damn problem when other Star Ocean games have this and have done it! The other games have more fleshed out cutscenes. A game from fucking 8 years ago has more thought and effort put into it. Like I said before, God Eater Resurrection, I played right after I finished beating this game. God knows why I even finished beating this game. And God Eater Resurrection has more emotion put behind its storytelling than this fucking game. Fuck! And then to make matters even fucking worse, you can't skip these fucking lengthy ass all fucking hell boring cutscenes. So when you die in battle because Annie can't fucking protect herself while she's doing something on a fucking computer terminal, you have to sit through the same crappy ass cutscenes again. Fuck these missions. Fuck those Annie missions. What the fuck were they thinking with those damn missions? Alright, let me calm down for a second. Okay, so the story, it's typical. It's not gonna win any awards, and it's presented, again, pretty freaking half-assed. Let's move on. Graphically, the game is a mixed bag. While you're on the planet, the one planet you'll be at the entire time for the entire game for the most part. Yeah, shots fired because Star Ocean 4 actually had you visiting other planets, but whatever. The game looks barely okay. To be expected because, like I said before, there was almost no development time actually put into this game. However, when you get to the more sci-fi and futuristic settings, it actually looks pretty good. The character models don't look too bad. I like their designs, and of course I love Fiora's design, and I don't care for that the designers or whoever the artist is looked like they were trying way too hard to make her look original and sexy. Not that I mind looking at all, I'm a sucker for a girl in a witch outfit. Graphics overall are decent, the character artwork is great, and I would rather have visual novel style cutscenes with artwork than these half-assed cutscenes we got. The soundtrack doesn't have any real standouts except when they reuse track from Star Ocean 3 and Star Ocean 4. Again, it doesn't feel like they're paying homage to these past games. It just feels like they were being rushed and they had to reuse these soundtracks. So I'm not gonna lie, when I finished the game, why did I even bother to finish this game? When I got to the post-game dungeon and the music from one of the other Star Ocean games post-game dungeon actually started playing, I got hella nostalgic. As far as the voice acting goes, it's decent to downright fucking terrible. Everyone sounds okay and their performances I can't really blame on the voice actor, as the script for this game is just not all that good, because when you get a great, awesome actor like Crispin Freeman and you manage to make him sound like an unimpressive regular Joe Schmo, then you know you done fucked up on a level that I can't even describe. Now the voice acting goes down to terrible levels when the generic villains start talking and you get this kind of shit.
How rude! You just had to go and ruin the production by tattling, didn't you? Well, it had a stupid story anyway. A son thinking he could just walk into our lair and save his father? No wonder they're both going to die. Kill them!
Just, what the fuck was that? Thankfully, there is a Japanese voice track option if you want to switch to it. Now, winding down to this game's verdict, we come to the battle system. And the battle system is this game's only saving grace. In the 2 Star Ocean games I've played, the battle system has always been the shining point, and thankfully this game is no exception. The first thing anyone would notice about the battle system is that all party members are fighting on screen at once. It was a pretty intriguing idea, except it's not all it's cracked up to be. Since all the characters are fighting on screen at once, along with their enemies, chaos and anarchy ensues, throwing all battle strategy and concepts out the window. Now, you can make a use of a sort of gambit-like system from Final Fantasy XII to make the AI fights the way you want, but it fails in practice because sometimes your party just doesn't want to listen and will try to go up to a boss and try to attack only to get destroyed in the process, when all you wanted the character to do was spam those healing spells. Still, this system is what I prefer to have in AI controlled party members if it's done right. And here, when it works, well, it works, but most of the time I have to switch manually to the healer and spam healing spells. Now, to be fair, this is pretty much what I did in the previous Star Ocean games that I played, and I still have fun with it, so I really can't be too hard on it. Now, there's a rock, scissors, paper mechanic here. Weak attacks are strong against strong attacks are good against enemies that are guarding, and guarding is good against weak attacks. It's a nice system, I suppose, but again, since chaos and anarchy reign supreme in the battle system, most of the time you're not going to be worrying about the rock, paper, scissors system, and instead you're just going to rely on spamming your most powerful attack skills to make short work of the enemies. On a higher difficulty, you might have to look for the system a little bit more, but if you're playing on normal like I do, there's really almost no reason to use it. In Star Ocean 4, you had blindside attacks that looked awesome and actually had use for them. I mean, just look how awesome this looks. This is technically also in Star Ocean 5, but it looks nowhere near as epic, and again, you're just going to be spamming your most powerful attacks over and over to kill your enemies. All this actually makes for a battle system that's a little bit hectic, but still on some levels, it's fun to play, and it's pretty much what I remember playing in other Star Ocean games, 3 and 4. Especially during the boss battles, I would switch to my healer, I would start spamming the heal spells, switch back to the main character, start attacking, and rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. I did that here. I had fun with it, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. But why did they have to get rid of the blindsides? That was the best thing that happened to the Star Ocean battle system in my opinion. But, I digress. So, wrapping up Star Ocean 5, it's a game that's, at the end of the day, it's just half-assed. Story just has no effort put into it. The characters seem cool, and I could work with these characters, but with the way the story was presented, it just makes them look bad, and you just don't care. Again, I don't know how many times I gotta say you don't care, but that's just the way it is. The graphics are a mixed bag, the soundtrack is okay, and the voice acting goes from okay to fucking terrible in the blink of an eye. You do have the Japanese voice track to remedy that if you want, And the battle system, again, is its saving grace. You know, when people ask me now about Star Ocean 5 or mention Star Ocean 5 to me, I always say, fuck Star Ocean 5. Because it feels like it's literally a betrayal to the series. And again, there's just no reason as to why that should be. No time, no development time put in this game. It just irks me completely. I gave this game a D rank at the beginning of the review, but now looking back on it and thinking about it more, this game gets an F rank. Fuck this game, it's not worth your time, and there are way better JRPGs on the PS4 to sink your teeth into. Hell, go replay an RPG you already played before. Developers didn't give this entry in the series the time of day that it deserves, so it doesn't deserve your time. If you can find it for really cheap, say about $20, then go ahead. But I say at that price, if you haven't played God Eater Resurrection yet, get that instead. And just freaking burn the $20, if anything. Okay, don't actually do that, and I wouldn't do that either, but this game is just not worth it. Anyway, guys, this is my review of Star Ocean 5, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you think Star Ocean, this Star Ocean entry is the best game you ever played, seriously, I want to know. I really want to know. I want to examine your brain to see what the fuck is wrong with you. You probably, if it is, it's probably your first ever JRPG you played. That's probably what it is. Anyway, if you didn't think it was as bad as I think it is, I still want to know. As far as everybody else is concerned, if you haven't played this, stay away from it. Again, better games, better JRPGs on the PS4. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening to this review. I'll see you later.